Go.
Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and today I am joined by Susan and Craig. And we are talking classic Doctor Who today from 1985, which is a sixth Doctor story. Colin Baker as the Doctor, Nicola Bryant as Perry, his companion. This two-part serial is called Timelash, and it gets a lot of stick, this story. It's not one of the fans' favourites. And we'll get into that as we go along in this little chat. Guest starring in this story is Paul Darrow, who is well known for playing another character in another cult sci-fi series. Do we have to name that series? Go on, Susan. What is it?
Blake's 7.
Yes, he used to play Kate Avon.
Kara Avon. Yeah.
It's not his first appearance in Doctor Who, of course, but
No.
We've picked this one because Susan absolutely adores Mr. Darrow. So, without further ado, we'll go for opening thoughts on Timelash. So, who shall I go to first?
The Borad.
All right, we'll go to the Borad. Over to you, Craig.
Oh, okay. I absolutely loved it. I watched it twice this week. I was expecting it to be a shit show, but I think the Twin Dilemma's worse. And I think it gets such a bad rap by these Doctor Who fans who keep slagging it off left, right, and centre. But I actually think it's a cult classic. I mean, we wouldn't even be having this debate if Timelash wasn't here or being made. That's why it's quite good, and it's got a beginning, a middle, and the end. It's really easy to follow. That it's over the top, campy. I mean, someone even said to is it Malin? You're not playing King Charles III or
Richard III. It was Richard.
Yeah, JNT had a go at him and on the set and said, "Look, tone it down a bit, please." But even I like these cool androids with the bleached blonde hair. That was quite cool. There's some fucking hilarious one-liners in this as well, such as when he said, "Those who enter the Timelash die with a scream," or something like that. Just made me laugh out loud. So yeah, there is. I mean, there's some things that are wrong with it. I mean, there's these aliens that look like foreskin aliens on a penis, who are some sort of delegating aliens who are trying to invade. I mean, that could have been done a bit better. And this weird thing that looked like my old Cocker Spaniel, God rest her soul, in a cave trying to attack Perry, chained to a stump or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 1985. These things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the special effects on the Borad were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have really enjoyed the Borad to be reptilian with like a snake, like in a coil. If he, instead of being stuck in that chair, if he was actually a coiled snake, because then that would make sense at the end when he becomes a Loch Ness monster and you see him bobbing around. Because I was thinking, okay, he's got a flipper, but he's not really as long or as big as the Loch Ness monster. So that didn't make any sense to me. And then that conflicts as well with Terror of the Zygons.
This story conflicts with a lot of things.
Over to you, Lee.
True.
Thank you. Our very own Borad. We'll go to Susan.
Hello, it's full of Vargas here.
Okay. Hi. Hang on. I'm gonna pause it.
Some things.
All right. Well, I really I have one thing to say about the campy over the topness is that the Timelash itself was a crystalline cave. I mean, you got nothing but these sort of these big tubes of crystals, and that was so fun. And
And you know, Susan, someone from the BBC had to spend hours cutting hexagons out.
cutting hexagons out and creating the tubes and making them shiny and making them durable enough so that Colin or the doctor and H.G. Wells and one of the planetary people all climbing on them. I mean, that was it was quite good, that bit. And there was and the bits with like with the Borad killing people with an aging machine, that was really clever. I think that was very in line with this. They had the Timelash, which sent you ricocheting into the time vortex. They had the little time crystal thing that the doctor made, and then they had the aging machine. So it was all like, how to get beat up with time. It's like pugilism with time vortex energy and stuff. It's that was a different thing. And I think that they tried to do a lot of those little things so that it would, you sort of catch on to the gist of it. And Colin was great, and Colin and Paul Darrow had crashed into each other in the other Blake Seven show as Babar the Butcher, and then in this one we have Tecker and the Doctor, and also coming to blows. I mean, it's just fun. It's like you put these two together, and there's going to be some sparks and some fire and stuff, and so that's really enjoyable. And so I think that I think I really love this episode, and I think it's fun. So that's all for me right now.
Right. Well, it's my go then. Where to start? You had Paul Darrow absolutely eating the scenery, as Craig mentioned, that he was told it's not Richard III. But for me, and Perry even says this in the episode, it's dull, it's boring, it's bland. This Karfel is so bland, and this is what comes across. The scenery is not, it doesn't stand out. The setup for the Timelash, what was it? It was tinsel. To me, they could have done. I know what you said. There was people there making all these things, these hexagon things, but shoving little bits of tinsel in the corners, and it just looked cheap. And it is known that this was one of the episodes where they did run out of money, of course.
It was hilarious when the Doctor blew up the Timelash, and then someone just chucked out some rocks after it had blown up. Quite funny.
I mean, also as well with the Timelash thing, as you said, people usually leave screaming as they go into the Timelash, but the Timelash doesn't kill you. It just sends you through the vortex, and you end up wherever. So, what's the? I don't know what the scary thing is about the Timelash. If it was killing people, yeah, but I mean that woman got sent to, was it Scotland, didn't she? And the Borad did as well. So it wasn't killing people. It was just sending these people back through the vortex, and you'd end up wherever you landed, sort of thing.
Random places, but it was sort of like temporal pugilism in a way.
But also as well, is it like the Doctor just to leave the Borad in Scotland?
No,
He was an intellectual scientist, from a futuristic planet, he wouldn't have left the Borad there.
No.
It caused havoc.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story does suffer as well because apparently this is the second time the Doctor's been there, but we haven't been there before. You know what I mean? Apparently the third Doctor and Joe's been there, but it never really happened in the TV series. So that was a bit. If first time seeing this back in 1985, that was so confusing.
Yeah, it didn't. That was sort of like, it was like Susan talking about all those adventures that they had.
And the third Doctor looked like the Doctor from the adventure or the theatre play in the 80s.
Yeah, the drawing of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I thought that was a weird thing to put into the story. If you was going to do a sequel to a story, you could have done another planet where actually the third Doctor had gone.
Yeah.
So it was slightly confusing that, and
that would have made a cool two-Doctor story too.
Yeah, it could have been any previous Doctor, but I mean, that's where the Tom Baker story, Face of Evil, sort of falls flat on his face because apparently he's been there before, but we've never been into that planet before, and so that story sort of suffers with it as well. But yeah, I just don't know how they did that.
Yeah, before Big Finish and before they started writing all the books to slot in between things, nobody ever thought that it wasn't a continuous, in terms of the Doctor's timeline, one continuous storyline.
See, the Borad could be taken for Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the Borad is the best thing about this story. The design of it is brilliant. Look at that face there, just behind Craig's head. What a brilliant design!
Yeah,
and his voice, his booming voice, was so brilliant. That was a brilliant villain.
He should have had a Phantom of the Opera little mask as well. That would have been even better.
Yeah, but this was a year before Phantom of the Opera.
Wow.
But yeah, this I don't know. The story for me just the involvement of H.G. Wells.
He was cute. I really liked him.
Did you? He was annoying.
Yeah, I want to go back in time and hang out with him. He's really cool.
What, the real H.G. Wells or the actor?
The actor.
All right.
He could be my assistant.
David Chandler, his name was. But he reminded me of Adric. He was that.
Let's not go too far, Lee.
No, but I was saying it was just getting on the Doctor's nerves, what Adric used to do. And that sort of characterization. And to me, I felt like the H.G. Wells element of it was just shoved in there. I mean, you take H.G. Wells out of it, you didn't really need him there.
Okay, but okay, there was seemingly an untried director in this guy Roberts and an untried writer.
He originally was
Glenn
good.
McCoy.
Yeah,
whoever heard of them before this?
Yeah,
they were just basically like these random.
He was a paramedic.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct.
And he originally penned a Dalek story, and then it was sent back and said, "No, you can't do this. You need to change it." And then Eric Soward got on board, script editing, thank God. And yeah,
So
I like Eric Soward in.
It was random. It wasn't like it wasn't like they really invested in it. And then this director and writer never came back. I don't think. I don't remember.
And I also got the feeling in this story, I don't think anything was really written for the character of Perry, because
No,
as soon as they got to Karfel, she was carted off, tied up, left, or chased around the corridor, and that was it.
and then the
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I don't think anything was actually written for the companion in this, and they just made that little bit up, and then put that he wanted to mutate her, which had been done before, or was Vengeance of Varos before this one?
No, after.
Is this after? Was it? No, I think Vengeance of Varos was before this one. But I mean, so the mutation of Perry again comes up. And I think, it's been done. It's a similar thing, but I don't know.
Maybe the producer had some women issues.
Well, as I say, they just shove Perry to a side, just lock her up, chain her up.
I say that. I take that back because he actually is responsible for Ace.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, okay, you're right.
probably says more about the writing.
So go ahead. Vengeance on Varos was 4 story arcs before this one.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, you say you have the Perry thing, shove her to a side. You've got the H.G. Wells thing. Let's shove H.G. Wells in here, and then we can have influence on H.G. Wells' stories in the future. Because this, the Invisible Man, the Doctor with his thing, is disappearing. You had the Time Machine, the TARDIS. You had the Island of Dr. Moreau with the Borad with the mutations. I think there was another one as well, War of the Worlds. I think it was with the Bandrils and stuff like that. But to me, it was a hodgepodge. It was just, to me, it just looked like it was all thrown together.
Yeah, I see your point.
But for me, as I said, the Borad was a brilliant character. I think it was wasted. I love Paul Darrow. As I say, he just loves to chew the scenery.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, every time he did steal the scenes from Colin Baker, and Colin Baker knows how to steal scenes.
He does so well.
Yeah.
Being wicked.
Yeah,
But Colin performed great in this as well. He was outstanding. He's such a good actor.
Colin was a brilliant doctor, but he was just not given the right scripts. And we've said it many times before. Thank God for Big Finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redeeming the Sixth Doctor.
Yeah.
Right there, Susan.
Pardon.
Someone pat her on the back.
Call 911.
So, favourite things then? I mean, I've had a bit of a rant and rave, but any favourite moments or things you weren't keen on? Well, it's open floor. Go on.
I love seeing people vaporized into skeletons. That was very satisfying. I love people getting shot by an android and then strangled and thrown into the Timelash.
I'm getting a vibe here that Craig likes violence.
Yeah, it was. It was interesting.
I thought it was really awkward that they used one of those slavery neck braces.
Yeah, that on Perry. I was
On
like, what the hell
Perry.
has she done this time?
Yeah.
First, they want to burn her face off with acid by smelling a flower. That was quite cool as well. It's very dark. I mean, I used to work with this girl at Virgin Megastores in Oxford Street, and she said, "Oh, you like Doctor Who?" Because I just was looking through the Doctor Who DVD section, and she said, "Yeah, I'm not really into Doctor Who." And I said, "Oh, why?" And she said, "Oh, yeah, it's full of what was it? It's full of it's like a public school field trip with lots of violence and unnecessary killing." And I thought, it's probably one of the main reasons why I watch it. You know, why do I watch Friday the 13th and Freddy Krueger? Because I want to see the unique ways that people are going to get killed.
Yeah, well, that's
You know,
yeah.
Doctor
You
Who
know,
is cowboys and Indians, I suppose, what they used to say.
you know
So,
what you know what you're going to get by what's on the cover of the tin. Shall we say?
yeah.
I tell you one scene what did make me laugh. Not, and it wasn't Paul Darrow chewing up the scenery or anything like that. It was when the Doctor entered the Borad's lair. Uh, he was just wandering around looking at the scene, and it didn't even say. There's the Borad with him in his chair with his back to him. I mean, it's anybody could see him.
Yep.
And he was took by surprise that he was there. I think, what?
Yeah.
A great big shiny chair like that. Oh. But there again, that's
I love the piss take one with Jim Broadbent. I think he does, like, there's a comic relief one or something, and it's this thing called Crayola, and she just turns around and says game, set, and match, Doctor or Time Lord, or and she's called Crayola.
yeah. I think that was
Yeah,
I think that was a Victoria Wood sketch.
that's it. It was very funny, and it's obviously taking the piss out of this episode or this season.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, the blue faced androids, brilliantly done, and I think that was I think they got that design from a David Bowie album cover.
Yeah.
The album called Tonight from 1984. He's got blue skin and blonde hair.
Yep.
But
And they were quite robotic. They actually did it well.
yeah, I think he was a break dancer or something like that.
Right, yeah.
I'm not too sure if he was, but I think he might have been. But the voice, I'm not too keen on the high pitched voice. It didn't really suit the build and the.
It was like the Quarks, they had those super high pitched, robot voices.
Bring back the Quarks.
Oh my gosh.
The petition here and now.
Always happy Quaker Oats.
But anything else you'd like to say about Timelash?
I kind of liked the way that it was interesting the way that H.G. Wells was like scoping out the thing, and he was such a voyeur too.
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
yeah. Well, when all hell broke loose in the main area on Karfel, and there was everybody was running, and H.G. Wells was there. All of a sudden, out of the blue, he just gave, I can't remember the character's name, he gave the character a leg up to cover the camera. How did he know that was a camera?
continuity for.
Good question.
I mean, say H.G. Wells. I mean, also he just went like that, give her a leg up. Hold on a minute. She didn't even ask, can you get me to get to that camera? He just did it. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. He won't know what's one of them. This is a high-tech camera. I just, I pick through these scenes, I tell you.
You did. That was good.
What happened to the dog in the cave in the end? Like, what happened with him?
Well, what did he call it? Is it the Morlocks?
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Borad was half Morlocks, wasn't he? Because I don't know, to be honest.
I wish the Borad was was snake like in Snake Dance with like a coiled up body, and it just would have been even more.
Yeah, but you've got to remember this is 1985, and the technology much we wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
And also, well, they had no money at all, so
yeah.
As you can tell, I think they spent most money on Paul Darrow's fee, and and the prosthetics for the Borad's face.
Yeah, because the hands were different. and the feet were different.
Yeah, he was half Morlocks and half Karfel, wasn't he?
Mm.
So half of him was a creature and half of him was Karfel.
Right.
Bad and gone wrong.
But there were the one-liners, like especially your flippers or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like there were snarky comments back and forth. That was fun.
Yeah, well, the Sixth Doctor did those little comments before. He did them in Revelation, did he, with Davros?
Uh-huh.
Lend you a hand or stuff like that.
Mm.
Yeah, so all hand related and flipper related, of course.
Of course.
So, anything else we like to talk about? Timelash. I keep stopping myself saying the other word for it.
What is it?
Lame shit.
I keep wanting to call it time swash.
Well, the only reason I remember it is because, Beef Dad used to go to this convention over there in Germany called Timelash. So it's been embedded in the brain. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure a German convention is more exciting than being on Karfel.
Yeah, at times these planets might be really boring, but Earth can get boring.
Yeah.
There's a planet called Karfel, and it's a planet with a lot of car parks and people who are crammed into small 4x4s.
And this is how Craig's mind works.
And they all get clamped.
Yeah.
Part of the being indoctrinated in the Fifth Amendment on that planet.
Oh,
So, anything else before we go to final sense go?
Yeah.
Nope.
There just wasn't enough Paul Darrow in it.
Well, yeah, because come the second episode, mid part of that is gone.
Yeah, they've already killed him.
I mean, I thought, well, that's an easy cop out, and get rid of that one. I mean, how many? You thought they'd come up with another way of getting rid of people. I mean, how many people did he blast with that? I think, was it 4 or 5?
Yeah, a lot.
I think, yeah, it's not really exciting anymore.
No, once you've seen it, you've seen it.
Yeah, the thrill and the shock's gone.
And the fact that they fold the same way and just fall the same way, like they're the same. That's the same, creation.
Yeah, it's the same skeleton they've used, most probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that Paul Darrow played Tecker the way that he wanted to. I don't know that direction really, this isn't Richard III, I don't think that really affected him much, because he was very much, Paul the way he was. And I really like Paul Darrow right now.
I never guessed.
Never guessed. He's quite handsome, and he's quite he's quite risky. He's like a good villain. Even when he plays a good guy, he plays the good guy like a villain.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And in this one, he was a total villain. I mean, he had that person killed, and then he had the other one, like his character had that one killed, and then had that one said, "Oh yeah, you're going to be my second in command," and then instantly you know,
Glad you're in the band.
betrayed him and turned traitor and stuff. Yeah.
As I say, it's sad that he's no longer with us anymore.
I know.
That's,
Jeez.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go to final say and score then.
Okay.
Susan, over to you.
Okay. I'll give this 9 crystalline Palderos out of 10. I have to give it a lot because of Paldero, for all the good Paldero reasons. I am just I'm such a fangirl. I can't even take it.
All right, and we'll go over to Craig, to another fangirl. Over to Craig.
I give it 12 out of 10. I fucking loved it.
12 out of 10?
Yeah.
Math wasn't his strong point.
Nice.
And me, oh dear. I'll give for the Borad 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Great character. For the story and its execution, I'm going to give it 6.5 Herberts out of 10. Annoying Herberts.
Oh, okay.
Because the story I just didn't enjoy, and you could see the fault straight away. But the Borad for me clinched. If the Borad wasn't in it, then I don't know what would have happened with this story.
No.
Well, that's our little review of Timelash. I hope you guys out there have enjoyed it, because we've enjoyed it. We've gone off on different tangents at the points through here, but who cares? I'd like to thank Craig and Susan for joining me. You guys out there, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of this serial, Timelash. Also, send us a message if you'd like to be on our cast or in our group. All we ask of you is to be 18, have a laptop, PC, tablet with a working camera and microphone, and you'll be in. Also, as I say, if you leave a message, we're on Twitter, Facebook. Where else are we? All over the place. We're all over the place. YouTube as well. So, and every time we put up a new video on YouTube, please remember to press the bell notification button, and you'll get notified every time we put one up. It's usually 2 to 3 a week. It depends when I can remember to put them up. Because life gets in the way sometimes. So until next time, please stay safe. It's love and peace to everybody, even the Bandrils. So until next time, bye for now.